Hello friends, I am here to tell you about the role of kidneys in the acid-base balance. That means how the kidney helps in maintaining the pH of a body fluid. Now before going to the role of kidney in maintaining acid-base balance, just have a brief look about the basic part of acid and base. So the precise H plus regulation is essential for the activities of almost all enzyme systems in the body. Now you know the fluid and electrolytes present in the body, they are precisely controlled by the various mechanism. Similar to that, the H plus ion that is present in the body, it must be also regulated precisely. If the change in the H plus concentration in the body, that means if it is increased above the normal or decreased below the normal, then it can dearrange the enzymatic systems. So all the cellular tissue and the organ processes are sensitive to the pH. So pH, it is nothing but the reflection of the H plus ion. So pH, that is a negative logarithm of the H plus ion. So the change in the pH, it may affect the various cellular process or the various activities at the tissue level or the organ level. So the pH of the body, that means the H plus ion, it must be precisely controlled by the various mechanism in the body. And the H plus ion concentration in the body fluid, it is a very low compared with the other ions. So because of that, the H plus of the body fluid, it is expressed as a minus log or a pH. So because of a too little H plus concentration, basically it is in a nano equivalent per liter, so it is expressed in the form of the minus log or the pH. That means the pH, it is a minus log of H plus ion, or you can tell the pH, it is a log of a 1 upon H plus ion. And the normal body pH of a ECF and mainly the blood, it is a 7.4, and the life cannot exist outside the pH of 6.8 to 7.8. So if the blood pH, it is less than 6.8 or more than 7.8, then life cannot exist for more than a few hours. So that means the pH of a body fluid, it must be precisely controlled. So for that, the H plus ion concentration must be precisely maintained. Then you are aware about these various terms, that is the acids, base, and the ampholyte. So acid are any substance that adds the H plus ion to the body fluids. That means acid can act as a proton donor. So they will add up the free H plus ion to the body, and that can increase the acidity in the body. So these are the example, HCl and the H2SO4. So HCl, there is hydrochloric acid secreted by the stomach cell. It is a strong acid, and this H2SO4, it is a type of the weak acid. And the bases or the alkalis are the substance that remove the H plus ion from the body fluids. That means this substance will act as a proton acceptor. They will remove the free H plus ion. That means they will bind with the free H plus ion from the body fluids. So for example, the HCO3, bicarbonate, and the HPO4, these are the weak bases by one of the hydroxyl ion, that is the one of the strong base. Then ampholytes, that means they can act as a both acid as well as the base whenever required. So that is the best example is the water there. And you know this is the relation between the pH and the H plus ion. So there is an inverse relation between the pH and the H plus, because pH, it is a negative log of the H plus ion. So whenever there is a increase in the H plus concentration, you can see here descending, or the H plus concentration is increasing, on other side the pH is decreasing. So there is an inverse relation between H plus ion and the pH. Whenever there is increase in H plus ion, pH will decrease, it will go towards the acidic part. Whenever there is a decrease in H plus ion, then pH will increase, going towards the alkali side. And just briefly about the acid and base production. So lot of the acids and the acids are produced in the body, and some amount of the bases are also produced in the body. So acid can be produced in the two form. One are the volatile acids and second are the non-volatile acids. The volatile acids, the best example is the CO2, because it is a gaseous form and it can be exerted, or it is removed by the lungs easily. So it is produced by the cell aerobic metabolism, and CO2, it will form H2CO3. That means a type of the weak acid that will associate to form H plus and the HCO3. and the CO2 can be removed by the lungs. That's why that they are called as a volatile. Then certain non-volatile acids that are also called as fixed acids. So that include the sulfuric acid, phosphoric acid, hydrochloric acid, and the organic acids. And there is a very negligible amount of the bases that are produced in the body that include the HCO3, that is because of the metabolism of organic anions, and the NH3, that is the ammonia after the metabolism of amino acids. And here is the normal pH of the various body fluids with that shows here. It is arterial blood pH, then venous blood pH, then urine pH, like that. So you can see the arterial blood pH is more than the venous blood pH, because in the venous blood there is a more concentration of the CO2, and CO2 is a type of the volatile acid, so it will decrease the pH. And the urine pH, it is ranges from a 4.5 to up to 8. That means depending on the need, kidney can produce a too much acidic urine and alkaline urine. So that we have to discuss here. Then the defenses against the changes in the pH. So various mechanisms that will help to control the pH, that will help to maintain the acid and base balance in the body. So there are three important defense mechanisms that will help to maintain the pH, that include the buffer system of the body fluids. Then second, it is the respiratory mechanism, and third, that is the renal mechanism. So these are the three major mechanisms or the defenses that will regulate the acid and base in the body, thus maintain the pH of the body. So out of these three, we have to discuss this renal mechanism in a detail, and rest of the two mechanisms I will just briefly narrate. So first line of the defense, that is the buffer system of the body. So buffer system, it is known as the first line of defense. That means it will come into action very immediately, instantly. Whenever there is change in the H plus concentration or the pH, the buffer system will come into action instantly, and it will try to maintain the pH. Second is the respiratory system that will come into the action, that is known as the second line defense mechanism. And third and the final defense mechanism, it is the renal mechanism, kidney, and that is the major mechanism controlling the acid base balance. So buffer system immediately come into action to combine with the acid or base, and thus temporary measure, as it does not eliminate the ions. So whenever there is increase in the H plus ion or increase in the base, so at that time the buffer system, it will immediately come into the action, and it will bind with that free H plus ion or a excess of the alkalis. So they will tie up with that excess of the acids or the base, and thus prevent the change in the pH. But it is a very temporary measure, because this combination of this buffer system with that of the acid or a base, it is a temporary, it is a reversible, so it will not work for a longer time. So there are various buffer system that may include the bicarbonate buffer system, then the phosphate buffer system, then the protein buffer system. So all that buffer system that can tie up with or combine with the excess of the free H plus ion, or sometime with the excess of the free bases, and make them weak acid or a weak base respectively. So this buffer system, basically they are acting as a shock absorbent. They will not work for a longer time, but they will come into action instantly, and they will work temporarily. Second line defense mechanism, it is the respiratory mechanism. So basically it acts within a minute via the respiratory center to regulate the CO2 concentration, but again it is a short-term measure. So whenever there is a increase in the H plus ion concentration or the carbon dioxide concentration in the body, so that will stimulate the respiratory center. So stimulation of respiratory center, it will increase the respiratory rate. That means it will increase the breathing capacity. So it will do the hyperventilation, and because of that it will wash out the CO2. So जो भी excess of CO2 है, that will be washed out. So CO2 wash out हो जाएगा, तो भी H plus ion का formation कम हो जाएगा. And on the other side, मानो कि ऐसा है कि भाई एसिड्स कम है और बेस ज्यादा है, दैट मीन्स अल्कलोसिस है, तो एट दैट टाइम क्या होगा कि भाई CO2 का कंसंट्रेशन कम है, H प्लस आयन का कंसंट्रेशन कम है, सो दैट विल इनहिबिट द रेस्पिरेटरी सेंटर. सो उसकी वजह से रेस्पिरेटरी रेट कम हो जाएगा, तो CO2 वॉश आउट भी कम हो जाएगा. सो दैट विल cause the accumulation of the CO2, and from the CO2 the H plus ion can be formed, and the alkalosis can be normalized. So this is a second line defense, but again it is a short term measure, not a permanent solution. And the final and the important mechanism is the renal mechanism, that is known as the third line defense mechanism, though it will take a time to start. It will take a days to week to begin its effect to maintain the acid base, but it is the most powerful, effective and the permanent or the long term solution for the acid base balance. So here I will tell you in detail how the kidney help to provide a long term solution to the change in a pH. So this is just brief of the three systems that is controlling acid base. तो primary is the buffer system that is working instantly, जो कि सिर्फ H plus ion के साथ या फिर base के साथ bind करेगा, but that bond is reversible. So this will not work for a longer time. तो it is a primary mechanism that work instantly. उसके बाद में है respiratory system, that is the second line defense. It will start work within a minutes or hour. So here it will remove the excess of the CO2 whenever there is increase in the PCO2 or the H plus ion concentration, and by which it will help to maintain the acid level in the body. Okay. And then third line and the final line of the defense, it is the kidney. That is the major role in the acid base balance. So coming to this, our main topic, that is the role of kidneys in maintaining acid base. So kidneys control acid base balance by excreting either acidic or a basic urine. मानो कि एसिड्स कब बढ़ गए हैं बॉडी में, then kidney will remove excess of the acid, so at that time the urine will be acidic. Or if there is alkalosis, alkalis बढ़ गए बॉडी में या फिर bases बढ़ गए बॉडी में, then the kidney will remove that excess of the base or alkalis and it will form the alkaline urine. Normally the pH of urine is acidic, so that means it is removing the excess of H plus ion. There are three basic mechanisms operating within the kidney that will help to maintain the acid base balance. So the first, it is the H plus ion secretion, second is the reabsorption of filtered HCO3, and third one, it is the generation of the new HCO3. So kidney are concerned with the H plus ion secretion. So whenever the H plus ion in excess, the kidney will secrete it and it will remove via the urine. Second, the kidney reabsorbs most of the filtered HCO3. And whenever needed, if the H plus ion is more than the HCO3, then at that time the kidney can also generate a new HCO3. So kidney is concerned with the secretion of H plus and reabsorption of HCO3. So this is the nephron that is showing the H plus ion secretion and the reabsorption of HCO3. So most of the part of this nephron that are concerned with the H plus secretion and the reabsorption of HCO3, except this thin limb, थिन डिसेंडिंग लिम एंड थिन असेंडिंग लिम ऑफ द लूप ऑफ द हिनले, उसके अलावा सभी जगह पे इसका सिक्रेशन H प्लस का होगा और HCO3 का रीअब्सॉर्प्शन होगा, बट मैक्सिमम इट इज इन द प्रोक्सिमल ट्यूब्यूल. मैक्सिमम H प्लस सिक्रेशन एंड द HCO3 रीअब्सॉर्प्शन इट इज इन द प्रोक्सिमल ट्यूब्यूल. So first mechanism by which the kidney will help to control the H plus ion concentration, it is H plus ion secretion in the proximal tubular segment. So it is by a sodium hydrogen counter transport, and that is a type of the secondary active transport. So let us see, this is the renal epithelial cell in the proximal tubule. Here is the tubular lumen, so where the filtrate is present, and here the interstitial fluid, उसके बाजू में blood होगा जहाँ पर reabsorption होगा. So here within the cell, you know, there is the presence of the carbonic anhydrase enzyme that will form the H2CO3, carbonic acid from the H2O and the CO2. So that will be ionized to H plus ion and the HCO3. So within cell there is a production of the H plus, or this H plus will be secreted here across the apical membrane of epithelial cell into the tubular lumen. So यहाँ पे जो H plus ion produce हुए उसका secretion यहाँ पे हो जाएगा tubular lumen में, nephron के lumen में. Okay. And that H plus secretion, it is in exchange with the reabsorption of sodium. So this is a type of the counter transport, and there is a second reactive transport mechanism. जहाँ पे सोडियम का reabsorption होगा उसके साथ में H plus ion का secretion होगा. So kidney will, जब भी H plus ion का secretion होगा तो kidney इसको secrete करके it will pour into the tubular lumen, and that H plus will be either used in the reabsorption of HCO3 or they will be excreted as a titrable acid. यूरिन में वो excrete हो जाएंगे. So clear? So this is the H plus ion secretion in the proximal tubule. Okay. Second is the reabsorption of the filtered HCO3. H plus ion secrete होते हैं और HCO3 है that are filtered through the glomerular membrane, or they will be reabsorbed back. So here you can see this is again same figure showing the renal epithelial cell. This is the tubular lumen, जहाँ पे HCO3 का filtration होता है. ग्लोमेरुलस में से फिल्टर होकर HCO3 विल कम इनटू द ट्यूबुलर लुमेन, और दिस HCO3 का ऑलमोस्ट 100% तो HCO3 आ रहा रीअब्सॉर्ब. मान लो कि HCO3 रीअब्सॉर्प्शन नहीं होगा, देन दैट विल बी लॉस्ट इन द यूरिन और दैट विल प्रोड्यूस द एसिडोसिस. बट यहाँ पे फिल्टर्ड HCO3 विल बी रीअब्सॉर्ब, एंड रीअब्सॉर्प्शन के लिए H+ आयन का होना जरूरी है. So that H+ ion are secreted here, as I have told in the previous slide. So that H+ ion will help in the reabsorption of this HCO3. क्योंकि HCO3 है, as it is reabsorb नहीं हो पाएंगे. So पहले क्या होगा कि HCO3 will combine with the H+ ion to form a H2CO3, and that H2CO3 will dissociate in the CO2 and H2O, and this CO2 H2 will diffuse into the renal epithelial cell के जहाँ पे H2CO3 फिर से बनेगा, और फिर that will be ionized in the H+ and HCO3. So यहाँ पे जो H+ बना है that will be secreted, और HCO3 जो बना है that will be reabsorbed with the sodium. Okay, so clear? So ये HCO3 सीधे सीधे reabsorb नहीं होगा, लेकिन H+ आयन के साथ combine होके indirectly it will be get reabsorbed. Okay, and H+ is secreted here. So HCO3 is reabsorbed by interaction with H+ in the tubular across the basolateral membrane. This is the basolateral membrane. Okay, and that is facilitated by sodium bicarbonate co-transport pump in the proximal tubule, and here there is also operation of the chloride HCO3 exchanger, that is mainly in the late proximal tubule and the thick limb of the loop of Henle and the collecting duct. Okay. So clear? So these are the two primary mechanism. One is the H+ secretion और दूसरा HCO3 का reabsorption. H+ को किडनी सिक्रेट करेगी, बाहर निकालेगी, and the HCO3 जो फिल्टर हुआ है that will be reabsorbed. Then H+ ion also secreted in the late distal tubules and the collecting tubules. So here the primary active secretion of H+ ion it is by the intercalated cell. So नेफ्रॉन का जो डिस्टल पोर्शन है वहां पे दो तरह के सेल होते हैं, इंटरकलेटेड और प्रिंसिपल. Principal cell are concerned with the sodium reabsorption, potassium secretion, but this intercalated type of the cell that are concerned with the H+ secretion. So यहाँ again H+ ion कैसे फॉर्म होंगे? H2CO3 में से. So carbonic acid will be ionized to H+ and HCO3, and here in these tubules H+ will be secreted by a separate different mechanism that include the primary active mechanism, that is a H-ATPase pump. So this is a H-ATPase pump, that is a primary active transport mechanism secreting the H+ ion, and दूसरी mechanism है that will secrete the H+, it is a hydrogen potassium exchanger or other hydrogen potassium ATPase pump. So where H+ ion are secreted, and in opposite to that the potassium are reabsorbed. So these are the two mechanisms. One is the primary active H-ATPase, and second is the counter transport mechanism. So that is concerned with the H+ ion secretion in the body. Then the third mechanism is generation of the new HCO3. Okay. So कई बार ऐसा होता है कि H+ ion बहुत ज्यादा है और उसके सामने HCO3 कम है. So to balance that, there is a generation of the new HCO3 ion, and that is basically needed whenever there is increase in the formation of a acid, non-volatile acids, that is from the diet and the metabolism. So non-volatile acids from the diet and the metabolism need to be neutralized by the generation of a new HCO3 over and above reabsorption. Okay. So acids, as I told, volatile or non-volatile होते हैं. Okay. Volatile acid in the form of the CO2. So like mainly CO2 they are removed by the lungs by the hyperventilation. But non-volatile acids जो भी form होंगे body में, that has to be removed by the kidney only. Lungs उसको remove नहीं कर पाएगी. So non-volatile acid जब बढ़ जाएंगे तो उसके comparison में HCO3 कम होंगे. So here the kidney can also generate the new HCO3 by certain mechanism. So that is by a two buffer system within the kidney. That is the one of phosphate buffer system, and second is the ammonia buffer system. Okay. So how this will work, this that I will briefly tell you. So here is the phosphate buffer system that will help to generate the new HCO3. So let us see here. There is again a renal epithelial cell. Here is the tubular lumen. And within the cell there is a production of the H+, क्योंकि यहाँ पे CO2 H2 का continuously कहाँ से diffusion होगा, so that will form the H2CO3, उसमें से H+ और HCO3 produce होंगे. Okay. अब this H+ will be secreted here. Okay. अब यहाँ पे normally क्या होता है कि यहाँ से HCO3 filter होकर reabsorb होते हैं, लेकिन अभी HCO3 यहाँ पे कम है और HCO3 अभी मानो कि है ही नहीं, उसके सामने H+ ion it is still are present. So उसके लिए आपको नए HCO3 जनरेट करने पड़ेंगे. तो यहाँ पे जो H+ आयन है, अब तक क्या होता था कि H+ आयन विल बी यूज्ड इन द रीअब्जॉर्प्शन ऑफ HCO3, लेकिन अभी HCO3 यहाँ पे है नहीं, तो क्या होगा, देन द फॉस्फेट सिस्टम विल कम इनटू द एक्शन। जो फॉस्फेट यहाँ पे फिल्टर होके ल्यूमिन में आएंगे, that phosphate, that means NaHPO4, okay, so that HPO4, that is a phosphate, it will combine with this free H plus and make it a H2PO4, that is a weak acid। अब नॉर्मली क्या होता है, एक्सेस H+ आयन जब सीक्रेट होंगे तो किडनी की कुछ लिमिट होती है कि फ्री H+ आयन को एज इट इज वो रिमूव नहीं कर पाएगा। So there the H+ ion, it must be converted to the titrable acid, then that acid can be removed by the kidney। Okay, so यहाँ पे excess of the H+ ion है, लेकिन that will be not removed all by the kidney। So for that this phosphate will bind with the H+ to form a H2PO4, that is a weak acid or a titrable acid, and this NaHPO4 in the form of the titrable acid, it will be removed by the kidney। So यहाँ पे जो H+ है that will be removed, और उसके सामने यहाँ पे HCO3 का प्रोडक्शन हुआ है, that HCO3 will be reabsorbed। Okay, so this HCO3 reabsorption or addition within the body fluid, it is called as a generation of the new HCO3। Okay, so clear। So अब तक क्या था कि भाई this H+ ion were used in the HCO3 reabsorption। So यहाँ पे जो HCO3 है वही यहाँ पे reabsorb होते थे, लेकिन यहाँ पे मानो कि HCO3 नहीं है और H+ ion is still present, then that H+ will be used with a HPO4 instead of the HCO3। So H+ ion will be removed by as a titrable acid, but उसके सामने यहाँ पे HCO3 generate हुआ है, so that is known as, that is the addition of the HCO3। So this is the phosphate buffer system that will add the HCO3। Second is the ammonia buffer system। So that is again important। So there is a production and the secretion of the ammonia ions by the proximal tubules। So basically it is seen in the proximal tubule। So normally the glutamine, that is a product of the amino acid metabolism, protein metabolism। So this glutamine, after the protein metabolism which is formed, it will be transported into the renal epithelial cell, mainly in the proximal tubule। So that glutamine within the renal epithelial cell, it will ionize to the 2NH4, that means the ammonia, and the 2HCO3, that is a bicarbonate। Okay, so this will produce the HCO3, and that HCO3 will be reabsorbed back, it will be reabsorbed into interstitial fluid and then into blood। Okay, so in this way again the new HCO3 are generated or produced। So this ammonia, it is the second mechanism that will help to produce the HCO3। और यहाँ पे जो ammonia form हुआ है, that will be secreted into the tubular lumen and it will be excreted। Okay, so clear। So this is the second mechanism by which the kidney can generate a new HCO3 whenever the HCO3 concentration is less in comparison with the H+ ion। Then buffering of the H+ ion secretion by the ammonia in the collecting tubules। So previous was in the proximal tubule or collecting tubules, maybe there is a generation of the new HCO3 by a secretion of the ammonia। Okay, so here the ammonia that is secreted here in the form of the NH3, it will form the H+ ion। So H+ ion का production continuous है, और H+ ion मैंने बोला कि as it is, it will be not secreted after certain limit, so it must be converted into titrable acid। So H+ ion एक तो phosphate के साथ bind होके that can be removed, और second thing is they can bind with this ammonia NH3। So NH3 will bind with the H+ to form NH4, and that NH4 can be removed by the kidney, और उसके सामने यहाँ पे HCO3 का production होगा। So that is again a generation of the new HCO3। So clear। So these are the three important mechanisms operating within the kidney that help to maintain the acid and base in the body fluids। Okay, so one is kidney, it will secrete the H+ ion। Second, the kidney will reabsorb most of the HCO3 ions, and kidney can generate new HCO3 ion whenever required, whenever the concentration of HCO3 is less than that of the H+ ion। So then just briefly about the acid-base disorder. If there is a change in the acid or base concentration, then it may lead to the abnormality, that is maybe in the form of the two, one is the alkalosis and second is the acidosis। So I think you are aware about this, both the terms. Alkalosis, that means whenever there is a increase in the pH of the body fluid, and the acidosis whenever there is a decrease in the pH of the body fluid। Okay, so there are the acidosis and the alkalosis, it can be of a two type, metabolic and the respiratory. So acidosis, that is a decline in the blood pH or increase in the H plus ion concentration in the body, and alkalosity is a rise in the blood pH or a decrease in the H plus ion concentration in the body. So I will not go in detail, but just briefly I will tell you about this, both this metabolic and the respiratory acidosis and the alkalosis. Now as far as this acid base is concerned, there is a one equation that is known as a Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. So the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation, basically it is important to measure the pH basically in the buffer system. So the pH, it is equal to 6.1 plus log of HCO3 upon 0.03 PCO2. So this is the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. So if you know the concentration of HCO3 and the PCO2, then you can measure the pH. Okay. And depending on the pH, either pH will be normal or pH may increase or decrease. Okay. अब मानो कि पेशेंट को एसिडोसिस है या फिर अल्कलोसिस है, तो वो मेटाबॉलिक टाइप है या रेस्पिरेटरी टाइप, दैट यू कैन मेजर विद दिस Henderson-Hasselbalch इक्वेशन. सो मानो कि एसिडोसिस है, इफ एसिडोसिस इज बिकॉज कि भाई HCO3 कम हो गए है, HCO3 कम है, उसकी वजह से उसके सामने एसिड्स ज्यादा है, उसकी वजह से पेशेंट को एसिडोसिस है, देन इट इज नोन एज अ मेटाबॉलिक एसिडोसिस. HCO3 कम होने की वजह से pH कम हो गया है, देन इट इज एसिडोसिस इज नोन एज अ मेटाबॉलिक एसिडोसिस. यहाँ पे एज सच एसिड का लेवल नॉर्मल है, लेकिन उसके सामने HCO3 कम हो गए हैं बिकॉज ऑफ एनी रीजन. और मानो कि रेस्पिरेटरी एसिडोसिस कब कहलाएगा कि भाई PCO2 बढ़ गया है, there is an increase in the volatile acid concentration in the body. PCO2 concentration is more, carbon dioxide concentration is more, because of that the pH is decreasing, then that type of the acidosis is known as respiratory. Okay. Similarly the alkalosis, if alkalosis it is because of increased HCO3 बढ़ गए, उसकी वजह से pH ज्यादा बढ़ गया है, then that alkalosis is known as metabolic. और मानो कि PCO2 कम है, HCO3 कंपेरिजन में मानो कि PCO2 का कंसंट्रेशन इज लेस देन नॉर्मल, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड का कंसंट्रेशन लेस देन नॉर्मल है, वोलेटाइल एसिड का कंसंट्रेशन लेस देन नॉर्मल है, उसकी वजह से यदि pH बढ़ गया है, देन दैट इज नोन एज रेस्पिरेटरी अल्कलोसिस. सो these are the various type of the acidosis and the alkalosis, and body will try to normalize or compensate that whenever the acidosis or alkalosis is produced, either by the respiratory mechanism or by the buffer system or by the renal mechanisms. Okay. So this in brief all the important aspect regarding the role of a kidney in the acid base balance, and also briefly about the role of various other systems in maintaining the acid base balance. Thank you.